Happy New Year, my good friends. Hope you all had a joyous holiday season. In spite of this pandemic, this coronavirus, and in spite of this political unrest going on in our United States of America today, the great God of heaven has blessed us to be able to arrive into this new year of 2021. And we all ought to be eternally grateful for that. And I would like to take this opportunity to give thanks to my team who helped me throughout 2020. Katie Lance, social media, who inspired me to tell my story. And my daughter, Kiani, who has been with me on each and every episode to help me get out this story. And Eric Frazier, The Powers Now, who helped put this together. And my good friend, Sam Thomas, who was able to help me put my equipment together. And Philip Moore, my good friend, who helped me in the technical assistance part, and Christina Brooks, who helped me to get this podcast, these episodes started. And I would like to thank them, and I would like to thank you for being with me throughout the year of 2020. And now, this is episode number 13. And I want to apologize for taking so long to get this episode out. But at the end of the year, I didn't take in consideration how busy the Fisher Realtors team would be of ending 2020. So for that, we do hope to be able to get these episodes out more rapidly. So bear with me. I want you to continue also to subscribe so the episodes will come directly to you, and visit the Fisher Realtors team and leave your comments and ask your questions as you have been doing. And some just decide to call me in, that's fine also, and also to text me. But as we move into this new year, and when as I left you, as a matter of fact, in episode number 12, and you will see that this episode number 13 is a continuation of episode number 12. Episode number 13, we would title it, The Beat Goes On. And the reason for that is that you may remember that in episode number 12, the title of that episode was Joy and Happiness. So you could see how it would relate. Now, upon leaving you in episode number 12, I had just purchased my first barbershop in 1965. It was named after me. Now, here I am, I'm 22 years old, and my first order of business is to really learn how to run a business, learn how to manage a business. This is something I experienced that I never had before in my life. I had to learn a new job. And so, I found that it was very different from learning how to be a better barber, learning how to cut better, that part of the business, learning how to build a business. But what I found is this was another different part of business for me. But I knew what I had to do. This would be the second time that I had to go back into the book. You may remember that in episode number 9, I had to go back into the book, my barbering book, because all of these chapters on how to run a business, how to do facials, all about the technical part of the business was in this book. And when I had to come to the realization that I had to bear down to learn how to build a business, that's the time in episode number 9 that I did go back into the book to read and learn how to do facials. That was the time that I thought that I had built a business, that I was cutting hair at home, only to find out that 95% of that business did not follow me into the business. And my good friend, Mr. Phillips, was following these episodes, and he was telling me how sometimes he could see how I can be hurt. Well, yes, but what do you do about it? And that did hurt me, but I knew that I couldn't stop, that I had to continue forward. So I went to the book. That's the time I learned how to do facials to help build the business. Now I'm back into the book to learn how to manage a shop. That was a good thing. I had to learn now the technical part. I'm doing this for emphasis on running. And you know what? I did not have the sense to be afraid. I guess having the opportunity at 22 years old to own a business was more inspiring to me, that I didn't understand what I had to do. Now I had to learn for the first time in my life how to pay bills. I had to pay rent. I had to pay utilities. I had to pay for repairs that went on into the shop. I had to learn how to pay advertisements. And then I had 3 chairs. This was a 4-chair shop, if you remember. And now I have to learn how to hire and get people into the shop. And I found that to be a difficult task, but I didn't know then, but it was obvious that I was up to speed. I was up to the thought of owning a business. That was more inspiring to me, and it overpowered my fear of failure. So I continued on. And my first thing, now look, I am praying, and I'm thinking, how am I going to build these chairs? Well, let me tell you what happened. One day, I'm in the barbershop by myself, and a guy came in looking for a job. It's mind-boggling. His name was J.D. Oliver. We end up calling him J.D. He was out of the city of Pittsburgh. He was married, and he had 6 children. And he was had been driving all around in the area from Berkeley, Oakland. I guess he didn't feel confident or having, he had given up on working in the city of Pittsburgh. And he arrived at Joe's Barbershop. This shop was named after me. This guy was 10 years older than me. Isn't that a coincidence? Here I have 3 vacant chairs. And before I was able to even advertise or to reach out for a barber, one appeared. And let me tell you, this guy was good. JD, he was one of the best barbers I had ever met. It was just what I needed. As a matter of fact, I was a little jealous. This J.D. Oliver, he could dismantle all of the tools that had working parts. He was able to put them back together, and they will work even better than when they were brand new. He was able to also sharpen a razor better than most barbers I'd ever seen. This guy was dedicated. He came to the shop, he would be there, and certainly I hired him on the spot. Now, the word hire that's a new word for me there, hire, H-I-R-E, because that's the first experience in my entire life. J.D. Oliver. And I mentioned I was a little jealous, but I sucked it up. As a matter of fact, I actually became his student, and he would work right next to me. And I'm going to tell you, I was inspired by J.D. Oliver. It's just marvelous. And what a blessing that how God will put things and people in your way when you're called according to his purpose to serve his people. And J.D. Oliver, and I want to continue on because I had 2 more chairs that I had to fill. And my next hire was a local person who I'd known most of my life. He grew up on 5th Street between, I think it would be Barrett and Ripley. This was David Sewell. And prior to hiring David started working, going to the Oakland Moeller Barber College, the same college that I graduated from. And I gave him the opportunity to go to school. And after school was over, he was able to come to Joe's Barbershop to get on-the-job training. And when he graduated from Oakland Moeller Barber College, he had already built up a business. He didn't have to go through the same thing that I went through, getting out of college and cutting hair at home and the business not following him. He was able to go to the barber college after school, come to Joe's Barbershop. I'm repeating this for emphasis. And he was able to, when he graduated, he had already had a business with his clientele used to coming to Joe's Barbershop. So that was great. So we're moving on. So now we have a new barbershop, Joe's Barbershop. We have J.D. Oliver, 10 years older, coming to, I guess he would be around 32 and I was 22. David, I think he was maybe a year and a half older than me. So that continued on. Then what was happening at this time is, if you recall, that my wife and I had put off trying to have children. Now that's about to change. We are about to start trying to raise a family. And so, and that it's really something, that how great, and the thought of having a baby. But I want to conclude here. And so I want you to be prepared for what's going to happen in episode number 14. So please, please stay with me and look forward for episode number 14, and look forward to see and hear what will happen regarding trying to start this family. Be with me again, episode number 13. God bless you and God keep you. And thank you for being on this episode number 13.